Bam. So today we're gonna talk about something. Wait, you're recording there? Okay, so then I can watch everybody at the same time. Perfect. So today we're gonna talk about things that will ultimately make or break you. I want to run over habits today. Everybody in here has, during our time together, starting to create new habits. This is what this is all about. Our movement is about creating new habits that will ultimately carry on and seep into other areas of your life. Just like any type of, just like when you're starting with dancing, most of us here started dancing pretty late in life. It affected other areas of your life. It did not only affect, I have more fun. No, not only do you have more fun, you also now have a purpose. You also now, or a different type of purpose. You also now have new relationships. You might have better self-confidence, better human connection, etc., etc. So now when most of us in here, or obviously everybody who is in here watching our training at the same time, is not only most of us, it's all of us are training in some way or another. Finding ways to automate your habits is something that is very tricky for some of us. Because when it comes to training, it's not only training. When you get into this community, it might be overwhelming at some point or in the beginning. There's the training, there is the morning movement, there is the water, it's the nutrition, it's the mindset that we are talking about. There are all of these different habits that we are constantly bouncing back and forth with each other that might feel overwhelming. But I have a hack that I really want to share with you guys. But before I talk about that, I would just like to know, what are some of the habits that you want to add in the near future, or been trying to add but haven't been able to put it into a habit right now? And I'm talking about this now because I've been meditating on and off for years. So while you guys are writing some of your new habits that you want to establish, the reason is I've been able to meditate twice a day for about 2 weeks now, and being consistent with it is because of this hack that I've read about. I didn't come up with it. I read about it in a fantastic book called Atomic Habits. Don't remember the name of the author, unfortunately, but if anybody's interested, just let me know. And I think this is going to be very valuable. I think it's going to be very, very valuable. Daniel is saying nutrition, eating healthy, less junk food. It's a new habit. Meditating would be great. Being more and more disciplined. Author is James Clare. Probably. Says Erlinda. I'm working on every day on having a new habit of learning every day for 1 hour. That's awesome. So drawing, there will come more and more things in. Here we go. Now everything comes at the same time. Being consistent with my 24-hour fasting. I'm guessing that's once per week. Writing more and more. Nutrition, drinking more water, being more ambitious about training without judging myself, going to bed before midnight, focusing on reading at least 30 minutes per day. So all of these things, or not all of them, but most of them, have some type of time towards them. So what I've been doing lately is that I've been really focused on meditating. I've been focused on journaling. I've been really Nazi on my morning routine, my night routine, and my meditation. And why I've been able to do that is because I habit stack. And what do I mean by that? Habit stacking means that I just stack the things that I want on top of habits that are already existing. So for me, training now, for example, it's default. Training is default. I don't see me going to the gym or me training. It is not a win for me because it's so deeply rooted inside of me. Did that make sense? Like for some of you, reading for 30 minutes is not a win, while it's a huge win for somebody else. Again, like we keep saying here, we're only competing against ourselves. So for me, what I've been doing is that straight after I do one of my habits, in this case, going to the gym, I meditate straight after. So I stack one habit on top of another one. And that's it. That's it for this weekend, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to say bye, dancers. You're going to say 4 dancers, and that's all I got. You know what I mean? No, but to be honest, like that's the trick. Like I'm going to be, I don't want to lie to you. That's the trick. But another example. Yo, what has been the most valuable about this call? Let's be honest. Let's be honest with me right now. So what I do is that, first of all, I try to, I stack it on top of something else. Straight after I brush my, the first thing I do when I wake, and I do it the same time every day. I try to do it in the same time every day. I try to be in the gym around 9 lately. Lately it's been a little later than earlier. So 9, because I have a morning routine now that I really like. That morning routine consists of, first thing I do before I leave my bed, I stretch. Second thing is that I go and drink water. I go on a short walk outside. I try to get some sun exposure. However, I am based in Sweden, so that's not very easy. Because it's been okay weather. Daniel is there. I see you, Daniel. It's been okay weather, but it's okay. It's okay. For Swedish standards, it's great. And then after that, I journal. So if I know if I do my morning movement, it's a huge chance that I'm gonna do the rest of them. Do my morning walk, do my meditation in the morning, my journaling, and then I do my training. And then I meditate straight after. So I stack everything on top of each other. So here, the few things, there is really like the short things for this to take away is really try to do it at the same time. Try to do it at the same time every day. The second thing is stack it on top of something that is pretty similar. So if I'm already journaling, sitting down, focusing, like emptying my brain on a piece of paper, it helps me to stay calm. It's one of the main tools I use to get out of panic, anxiety, and depression. Like just journaling in general has been a very powerful tool for me. So I'm already introspect at that moment. Bam, I just slap meditation right top of everything. Okay? If I want to become, right now I'm really focused on fitness, but I want to go back and focus. I want to learn Cuban salsa. It has been a mission of mine for a long time. I just never prioritized it. Keep in mind that I didn't say that I never had time for it. I just never prioritized it. Big difference. Okay? So now I want to make the priority. So what do? The first thing I did, as soon as I felt that, and I really came to that conclusion of like, you know what, now it's really a good time for me to go and learn to go a little deep on the dance style. I feel I can prioritize it now during the summer. I use the motivation as an indicator to act. Boom, first thing I did, I contacted 3 people in Sweden. I want to start dancing Cuban salsa, who should I talk to? First thing. They all gave me the same name of a guy. I contacted like 3 people gave me the same name. Perfect. Hey, Champ, when do you have classes? How much do you take for a private class? For act, straight away. This is what we're talking about. Motivation is the indicator to act. Move forward. Boom. So now what I need to do is that I need to find out which day during the week would it make sense for me to dance? And when can I commit to that? Because be aware, like a word of warning here, when you're creating a new when you want to create a new habit, Don't come out of the gate saying, I want to meditate 45 minutes per day, or I'm going to read an hour a day. If you never read anything before, if you're completely green on reading an hour a day, that's tough. It's not easy to sit down and just focus all your attention on one thing for 1 hour if you never did it. It's possible, but it's a much more sustainable goal to say, I'm going to read 10 pages every day. Then if you end up reading an hour, that's amazing. Remember the evergreen principle of progression. Progression is an evergreen principle. It will forever be a principle that is there. You cannot deny it. Did that make sense? That's for everything. That's for everything. I meditate once a day, or I've been meditating fairly regularly for close to 5 years now. This year I've been doing it once per month, or once per day, sorry. Focused on doing it once per day. Really focused on meditating once per day. But because I used the principle of progression, then I started, once a day, now I can use habit stacking, and I can do it twice a day because I have those tools. Applied knowledge is power, and this is what this group is all about. Okay? Next thing I always do also is that I schedule everything. Everything. If it's not scheduled, it's not happening. If I don't have it scheduled, I won't do it. Okay? Thumbs up if this is making sense so far. Perfect. Let me see here. I was considering sharing my screen with you guys. But before I do that, let me see. I have some wild things on my desktop, Lord knows. let me open it first. So I want to show you also, because we're talking about habits, I want to show you my come on, why can't I do that? Here we go. 1 second. Here's another pro tip. Most of you guys probably already know it. My life is very gamified. I gamified. You can see my screen, right? Perfect. If you haven't checked this playlist out, it's absolute fire. It's the dancer Reem. She's in this community most of the time also. Her playlist is fire on Instagram or on Spotify. So what I do is that I gamify everything, like I said. Here are my daily opportunities. I don't do to-do lists. I have opportunities that I'm going to conquer or smash every day. And every day I do the same. I write everything up here the day before. Again, a habit. I do it every night. If I didn't do it the night before, I know I need to throw it in my morning routine. If not, I won't be as effective during the day. Then I go in here. Perfect. Here are my meditation. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to meditate twice. Bam, I meditated twice today. As soon as I've done it, I mark it. Green, beautiful. I was going to write this to the State of the Union, which is a thing I'm doing with one of my mentors. I'm going to do this, record content. I did that also. And I add it here. I have a checklist because it feels good when I have done it. Make it there, and bam. I like green. with all the double meaning to that word, right? All green. I'm about that life. And just try to gamify it. Make a way for you to, as soon as you've done something, you just mark it. Okay? That's also, again, that goes back to habits. I want this app. It's called Trello. Most of us, yeah, Trello. Pretty. It's free. This is making sense so far? I'm making sense? Gamify your life, or make some type of trigger, something that triggers a dopamine rush whenever you've done something. Mark it. Use your power phrase for you guys who haven't developed it yet. Any question on this? Your habits will ultimately make or break you. There is a great historian called Will Durant, and he said, he talks about excellence, and he says, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is therefore a habit, not an act. Usually, a Greek philosopher called Epictetus gets the credibility for that quote, but it's not. It's not the Greeks, it's the Americans that said that. So big up yourself. At least this time, you know, at least this time. Your habits will ultimately make or break you. And it's the small things. I know this webinar is not like, whoa, this is mind-blowing. I did not know that I should schedule my shit. Wow, I did not know that adding another habit on top of another habit makes all the sense in the world. Angela, who's your friend? Who's your friend, Angela? I'm not going to pretend I didn't see that. My sister, nice, say hi to her. So, but these things, when you put them into practice, they are so powerful. I cannot stretch how powerful they are. They will make or break you. And it can be the difference of, I call it a slight edge. There's actually a great book called The Slight Edge. It's one of the first personal development books I ever read, or ever listened to. I didn't even read it. I did this tattoo because of that book. I did this tattoo because of that book, actually. And he talks about things that are easy to do are also very easy not to do. But those are the things that will make the difference. Brushing your teeth, for example. We've done this example before. If you miss it one time, nobody will notice. If you miss it every day for a week, nobody wants to dance with you. If you miss it every day for a year, you won't have any friends. It's that simple. And then imagine how many other areas of your life that is seeping into. Just you skipping that thing. Now take stretching, for example. We have some again, we have pioneers sitting here with us. Pioneers of European dance, European whacking and club dancing. They're sitting right here with us. Some of the OGs of my culture. If you didn't do yoga every day or a lot, I promise you, your career wouldn't be what it is today. You know what I mean? I did a post the other week yesterday that I got some heat from on my Instagram, and I said my doctor said I would never be able to squat again, and now I'm doing 120 kilos on repetitions in squats and ton even more in deadlifts. So I'm soon as in my strongest than I ever been. And my doctor told me last year, he told me you will never be able to squat again. It's like you should just never squat. Forget that. But it's the consistency that I've been putting in that makes me be able to do that. Every day I stayed consistent. I made it a habit that whatever happens, I will always cycle and do my knee rehab at the gym, the first thing I do. Oh, I go to the gym every day. or 4 to 6 days a week. Perfect. Where do you think I should throw in my knee rehab? Probably when I'm already training. You want to dance more and become a better dancer. When should you dance? Probably before or after you've done your workout, because that is probably a habit for you right now. Makes sense, right? Despin is asking if I sent him my video yesterday. Nah. Between you guys and everybody who's gonna watch this replay, fuck that doctor. Big time. Big time. What an absolute idiot. What an absolute beginner when it comes to doing his job. Fixed my knee, however, so I'm grateful for it. But if I ever see that guy again, I'm not gonna control myself. I'm gonna give my control to him and my right hand. Promise you that much. Promise you that much. Because that's a long story that we can talk about another day. My knee surgery that I did in Spain. That's another story. But for you guys who've been hanging around since November or October last year, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Fuck that doctor. That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Apply this. You have everybody have written out what you want to do. You all have written out what type of new habits you want to add. You've wrote out more 24-hour fasting. Perfect. You know how you do that? You fast recurring. You fast the same 24 hours. Mondays, no matter what, I'm fasting. Going to bed before midnight. Perfect. Schedule it. Being consistent with working on creativity, on reading for 1 hour, meditating, nutrition, working, blah, blah, blah. You know your habits. Find a way to do it. And my dad's writing here, my doctor told me the same. Look, here I am. Very important, guys, that a medical doctor, here's a secret that they didn't tell you. A medical doctor have no idea what he is talking about when it comes to rehab. A medical doctor is supposed to fix you then and there. A physical therapist doctor should take care of your rehab. That is not the same thing. Dr. Courtney is Dr. Courtney is a physical therapist rehab. She's absolutely fantastic in fixing you after the medical doctor have already put you together. If you ask Dr. Courtney to stitch together your ACL, for example, I don't think she has the skill for that. I'm not sure. But in general, a physical therapist doctor don't do that. That's a medical doctor. And if you ask a medical doctor to help you with your rehab, and he's Spanish, and his name is Dr. Marchant, you might as well listen to me talking about fucking neuroscientist, because he has no idea what he's talking about. This doctor. Know what I mean? Una cerveza, por favor. Yeah, for sure, bro. That was the mentality of this guy. Okay, we finished with the webinar. Let me rant real quick, right? This is what happened. I was supposed to do a surgery in Spain on the 25th of September. Dr. Marchant told me, come here 25th of September, and I'm gonna operate, do surgery. Perfect. I come there, I'm there that day. What happened? Boom, international Spanish holiday. This guy had literally forgot that he was not working that day. Amateur, first thing that happens. I go back the other day. I come back the other day, he's not there again. He just happens to be on holiday. I come back the third day. Like, yo, motherfucker, you're supposed to cut me open. What are you doing? He's like, okay, come back in a month from now. I come back in a month from now. I do the surgery. I ask for local amnesia, which means I'm supposed to be awake the entire time. Me thinking, oh, what an amazing experience. I already did this surgery one time. I pretend that I was a rock star. I didn't take care of my knee rehab. I went to China, went on world tour with my knee after my second surgery. I didn't care about it. And I was having full body amnesia, which means you're passed out. So I'm thinking, amazing, let me be awake. Let me see how this goes as a trainer, as a coach. That's amazing. I can just follow through this long experience. He take a shot that is this big, put it in my spine. I pass out, even if he told me I was gonna have local amnesia. I wake up during the surgery. He tells me, Sebastian, guess what? You have arthrosis. Boom, I pass out again. I wake up another time. Look, Sebastian, this is your knee. Boom, I pass out again. I swear on my life, I can't make this up. I wake up. My Spanish friend is there. So I'm waking up. I'm like, okay, what's happening? What did they do? Because I'm doing an arthroscopy. In an arthroscopy, they are supposed to only look into your knee. And then they do okay, what is happening in here? He didn't tell me what happened. So my friend comes. My friend tells the nurse, okay, we need to talk to the doctor because we have no idea what happened. Guess what? He had already left for vacation again. This motherfucker had left without telling anybody what had happened. I go back, or I'm still there. We call him. This guy comes with flip-flops and shorts. And he's like, yeah, Sebastian, you have arthrosis. He gives me a high five. It's on my life. I can't make this up. He gives me a high five. He's like, you have arthrosis. So I'm like, okay, what are you talking about? He's like, you can never squat again. You're supposed to have this cast on for a month and a half. Don't take it off. Don't do any knee rehab. And eat this medicine. He throws me some medicine. When I come to the what's the name in English? The pharmacy, the medicine doesn't have an amount on it. So it's just medicine. And I have no idea what I'm gonna eat, how many days I'm gonna eat it. I have no idea. I call the hospital. They say I'm supposed to take shots in my stomach. I'm supposed to take it for 4 days. When I come to the pharmacy, they tell me, no, you should do it for 15 days. That's a minimum dosage. And back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. That's not even half of the story. It's not even half of the story. But meet Dr. Marchand. I will right hand this guy straight across his face. I promise you that much. That will be the only time you ever see me lose control. I promise you. I promise you that much. Yeah, lucky you didn't give up. Yeah, lucky I had people I could contact. I watched my Instagram story the other day, so that's why this is a fresh memory of mine. Luckily, I had people I could ask for help. I had real mentors in my life. Imagine if they did this with someone who, and I said this in my story also, just like Sandra said, it's like, imagine they did this to my grandmother, you know, or somebody who who don't have energy to take up a fight, or somebody who doesn't have the character, you know. Then this is my second surgery. But again, what you gonna do about it? It is what it is. My knee is better. That's the point. And that's consistency and habits that's been making it. So stack your habits. Okay, thumbs up if you're gonna stack your habits from now on. Perfect. Remember, or remind me next week to hold you guys accountable for your habits that you want to establish, right? Somebody needs to remind me on that. You know the vibes. Any questions? Any questions about this? Any questions about life, or, you know, Sebastian, the life coach? Any questions about training, nutrition, mental discipline, or anything? I would love to answer it right now. If not, we talk about it next week. I think that's such a funny title, by the way. I gotta say it, life coach. I'm not calling myself a life coach. You know, I will never call myself a life coach. I coach. Well, a life coach. That's a strange title for me. Well, it's not a strange title. It's a pretty cool title, to be honest with you. Alright, everybody. It's time to unmute ourselves. You know the vibes. I'm going to say bye dancers. You're going to say 4 dancers. And I see you next week, all right? For you guys who are joining the Mental Discipline Program, we take a 15-minute break and then we just come straight back into this channel, okay? Beautiful. Stack your habits. Don't slack on this one. This will make or break you. Boom. Everybody unmuted? If not, unmute yourself. All right, everybody. That's it for this week. You know, the vibes. Wednesday webinar. Nah, that didn't work. That didn't work. That second take. Second take. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I'm all over the place today. It's David. I don't know what he put. I don't know what he put in my copy. Sorry.
Another day, another video.
Not every take is perfect. You know what I mean? All right, there we go. All right, everybody. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for coming. Wednesday webinar, as always. Thank you for making my life and my Wednesdays a lot better. It really, really means a lot to me. Remember, as always, by dancers.
Dancers.
You know the vibes.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ciao. Stack your habit. Don't slack on this one. Ciao.
Ciao.